I don't want people to forget how much they messed up. Everyone who came out and casted votes for Joe Biden, you might have had your reasons, whether they be, real valid ones based on facts and evidence, or whether they just be mainstream media driven propaganda. Whatever, I want you to learn and from those mistakes so that we don't repeat those mistakes in 2024 and 2028. It isn't just that it wasn't my guy, right? Bernie's dropped out and Joe Biden's the presumptive nominee. But I want everyone to know that this is a losing formula. We tried in 2016, we tried it in 2020, and it doesn't win. And here's why. It's really easy to get lost in your echo chamber, right? You listen to your CNN, your MSNBC, the mainstream news, you get the same thing, filtering over all and all over again. Oh, Trump is terrible, Trump is the devil, Trump is so bad. The Democrats are the saviors, they're the ones fighting for us. We have to, if we want to win, we have to run to the middle. We have to unify. We have to compromise. We have to be pragmatic. That's how you win. That's how you win. And we got to win because Trump's terrible, blah, 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 blah. And you get caught in this little echo chamber. It's really easy to get stuck in that. It's really easy because anytime someone tries to bring up something different, they call you a radical. They're like, what? Bernie? The progressive policy is popular? What? Polls? What? That's radical. Get out of here. How dare you? And they call you a radical. They call you crazy. They don't want to hear it. And so then people, average folks who are listening in this little echo chamber, they don't hear. So they get scared, they get duped, and they come out and cast votes for Joe Biden. But let me tell you something. Joe Biden's going to lose. Joe Biden's going to lose. This is how average America, real America, like the 70% of the country who isn't caught in that echo chamber, this is how they think. Understand something. When people look at a guy like Joe Biden, he's already losing his marbles. He can barely put together sentences. He is starting to lose cognitive abilities. That is abundantly clear. But even if it was packaged up, lovely, old Joe Biden, right? The Joe Biden of 2012, 2016. That Joe Biden is somebody people don't like. People don't respect that type of Joe Biden. People look at that type of Joe Biden and up against a guy like Donald Trump and they say, this guy is from inside the system. This guy has everything that's wrong with politics. This guy for the last 40 years is the reason why I can barely feed my kids. I can barely put food on the table. I can barely send them to college. I can't afford health care. That type of guy is the reason why. What's he done for me? What has Joe Biden done for me? That's the type of questions that average folks, people who aren't inside that echo chamber, that's what they think. That's what they think. That's why they didn't vote for Hillary. It wasn't just that, oh, she's a woman. No. It's not, no. I'm sure sexism played a role, right? But understand, she didn't lose the Midwest by 70,000 votes. States that usually go Democratic easy. That wasn't the reason why she lost the Midwest. The reason she lost the Midwest wasn't because she was a woman. It was because she had terrible policies, because people didn't trust her, because she's corrupt. She had a terrible voting record, and people trusted the outsider billionaire. No, regardless of all the disgusting things he had to say, they trusted that over Hillary, because she's a proven commodity. She's been in here for 30 years, and what's she done for me? Same thing with Joe Biden, this corrupt corporate sellout man. What's he done for me? And the same playbook that Trump used against Clinton, he can use against Joe Biden. And what's worse this time is that he ain't all the way there, and he won't even have an adequate defense for himself. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Imagine that in a debate against Donald Trump. That's going to be crazy. The guy who's flipping and flopping all over his goddamn self, having to pause mid-speech, can barely put together sentences. Imagine that! With the corrupt record, with the long history of disastrous votes against Donald Trump, who, yes, is a more unpopular than average incumbent, but still not disastrous in terms of approval ratings, and whose base loves him. They love him. They love him. They love him to death. Because he's not them. Don't you get that? Average folks don't like the establishment. They don't like the Obamas. They don't like the Clintons. They don't like the Bidens of the world, the Pelosi's, the Schumers. They hate their guts. They don't like them. Congress polls at a 20% approval rating. People don't like Congress. They don't like the establishment. You know what they like? They like someone who represents them, who talks like them, who tells it to them exactly how it is. and they know they can trust, or at least they've been told they can trust. They prefer that any single day, regardless of the policy, over corrupt corporatism. They can't stand it. That's how most people think. And when you take a senile man who's starting to lose cognitive abilities, who represents everything that is wrong with the political system, and you put that up against that outsider who's not even that unpopular, I'm promising you it will be a bloodbath. Plus, he has done nothing of substance to reach out to Bernie's base. Nothing. What's he giving us? What bone is he giving us? You think he's going to choose a progressive as a VP? Please. I've seen the cabinet picks. They've leaked some of the cabinet picks. Disastrous. Jamie Dimon, Mike Bloomberg. Are you serious? Throwing us no bone whatsoever. And if you don't have 40% of the party who comes out and votes for you, or at least large portions of them, plus the youth not coming out to vote for you, plus Latinos not coming out to vote for you, you will lose. You will lose. I'm a member of the youth, and I don't plan on voting for Joe Biden. Plenty of my friends don't plan on voting for Joe Biden because we are sick of this system. We are sick of the system that Joe Biden represents. Many folks who have been disillusioned by politics, the types of people that Bernie represented, they are sick of what Joe Biden represents. They will not come out and vote for the status quo. Because I want you to remember, Donald Trump is the symptom, not the disease. And that disease started right with people like Joe Biden. People are smarter than that. They realize that. They are not going to vote for that. And the quicker you realize that, the quicker the Democratic Party establishment realizes that, and the quicker the voters realize that, the better off we will be. Biden is going to lose, right? He's senile. He has the terrible record. He can't turn out youth and Latinos. It's a losing formula. Same formula with Hillary, just worse. But that's not the end of the world. It's really not the end of the world when you really think about it. Joe Biden's not that much better than Donald Trump. He was under Obama terrible on immigration, terrible on foreign policy, never pushed for universal health care, never pushed for a living wage. You know, was he really that much better than Donald Trump? I think the facts and the evidence will show you he just wasn't. And will he be in his future administration after 40 years of proving the opposite? No, I refuse to believe so, especially when even in this campaign he's being funded by 60 billionaires. So you're at a point where you're kind of like, all right, I mean, these are the two options. How much worse could it get? Because 4 years of Biden and 4 years of Trump, what is that? It's just 4 more years of oppression. It's 4 more years of the Democratic Party establishment, the Republican Party establishment not giving a damn about us. And what's that mean? That means people get pissed off. That means people get angry and scared and confused. That means people have finally had enough. They've already had enough, man. That's why Donald Trump's in office. They've already had enough. That's why Bernie Sanders is as relevant as he is. And when you push them over that edge, they're already right at the edge of the cliff. You push them over. Oh, man. Oh, the establishment's done. No, they're done. People aren't going to vote for that. Never again. You're going to start waking the sleeping beast up. I hope they understand that. Like, they just signed their death sentence. The establishment just signed their death sentence by forcing Joe Biden down our throats. Because people are sick of it. They're tired of it. They're tired of being effed over by the system, by not receiving adequate health care, by going bankrupt for healthcare costs, for not being able to send their kids to college, for not being able to put food on the table. They want basic rights. They want basic freedoms. They want basic justice. But they can't get it in America because they're sold out. The system's fundamentally rigged. People are starting to realize it bit by bit. That's why Trump's in office. That's why Bernie is as popular as he is. And guys, the establishment, they're not going to survive the next 4 years. I don't think they will. Even if Joe Biden pulls off the miracle, it's just going to be 4 more years of the status quo. And the status quo sucks. The establishment has signed their death sentence. And that's a good thing. That's honestly a good thing in the long term. That's the way I'm looking at it. So for progressives and for anyone who cares about these issues, this is the moment. This is the moment. This is the moment that you have to move. You got to move. Take advantage of this stuff. Because these next 4 years are about to be ugly politically. It's going to be real ugly. It's going to be a lot of frustration and anger out there. That's the time to get out in the streets and use that emotion that people are going to be feeling, that are people are already feeling, and use it for political, for change, for justice. Be active, be bold, get millions of us out there using our voice, and you're going to see real change in this country. That's the long run, man. That's kind of, sometimes you have to burn down the system. You have to get people angry enough and fired up enough to burn down that system and create something better. Something better rises from the ashes. So that's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling. I'm always a glass half full type of guy. Joe Biden's probably going to lose to Donald Trump. I'm predicting he will. But either way, they've signed their death sentence. And we're going to be seeing a day very soon when people are going to have enough. Enough is enough. That's what a lot of people are going to be saying. You're going to see a populist revolt in this country. Not necessarily violent, but certainly politically fervent and powerful.
Yeah, we riding. Yeah, you know we vibing. Bitch, we just living.